Hey, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you're having a great Monday. And today we're going to talk about the crashing economy. It's here, and it's not getting any better. It's only going to get worse. But here's the great news. I'm going to share with you today how not to just survive, but thrive and win during these challenging times. So do me a favor, whether you're watching this on live or replay, let me know where you're watching from. We have this broadcast through 8 different platforms and groups, which is pretty awesome what technology allows us to do. And again, I will check the comments. Let me put up a quick little banner to let me know or remind you to let me know where you're watching from. I know Lisa was just on a second ago. We had a couple technical difficulties and had to start over again, but I'm excited. So, hey, Chip. Hey, man, great to see you. Appreciate you joining. We got Michelle on YouTube from South Africa. Appreciate that. Our audience is all around the world. Chip is in Maryland. You're my neighbor out here in Virginia. So we're going to go ahead and get started pretty quick. All right, there's Lisa. And by the way, you have to give Streamyard permission to use your Facebook to let me see your name. And so we will go ahead. I'm going to get straight to the point because a lot of great information that I want to share with you over the next few minutes. Now, and how do y'all like my I Will Until shirt? Do y'all like that? Got my book in the back, got my shirt. So I'm an I Will Until model. That's the only model I can be is an I Will Until model. Howard, great to see you. And do me a favor, smash that heart button if you're getting value. Make sure to share or tag anyone that you know that may get value from this broadcast. All right, so let me share some things with you. I've been researching as I prepared for this training today. And here's where you are. Inflation is increasing at the fastest pace in more than 40 years. Now, I've got great news after all of this. So don't go, oh my gosh, this is scary. It is scary if we don't do the right things. However, this is the time that we can gain market share. This is the time that we can get ahead. And so make sure you hang on to get the good news after I go over this. Interest rates, we know are going through the roof. Prices are increasing with everything. It's absolutely nuts. My wife and I went to, we were out of town over the weekend. We went to a breakfast area that we normally love to go to. And the amount that they increased the prices was pretty crazy. And they have to be able to stay in business because it's costing them more for everything. We have the US dollar, all the things that are going on right now, talking about the US dollar collapsing and not being the world currency. We have the car bubble that they're saying is going to burst. We have the banks that are in serious trouble and, collapsing. And then you have layoffs. Okay, listen to this. And those of you, most people that watch this, you're an entrepreneur of some sort, right? You're either, whether you're a company owner, you're a CEO of a mega $1 million a year company, whether you're in real estate or mortgages or insurance or financial services. We have a lot of entrepreneurs that actually, tune in to the content. But here's what they're saying. 61% of business leaders say their organizations will likely have layoffs in 2023. 57% of business leaders say layoffs are likely to estimate, so an estimate of 30% or more of their workforce. So 57% of business owners say that they're likely to lay off over 30% of their workforce in 2023. 70% of companies are likely to implement a hiring freeze in 2023. So we're seeing this more and more every single day. The IMF cuts GDP forecast, says global economy heading for the weakest growth since 1990. In over 30 years, that's where we're headed. Now, the top industries to take a hit. Let me know in the comments, what are your guesses on some of the top industries that will take the biggest hit during an economic downturn? And by the way, we've got, Tony Robbins. The other day I was listening. He's not saying 5 to 8 years now. He's saying it's possibly could be 8 to 10 years that we're going to go through, a winter. And so I'm just curious what you think the top industries as I go through these. Number one, real estate. Real estate has already taken a huge hit, especially commercial real estate. Marketing, construction, the vehicle industry, airline and travel, restaurant industry, oil industry, hospitality, recruiting and employment industries, freelancing. Those are the top 10. Now, here's the good news. There's lots of ways to look at this, and there's a lot of really good points if we do the right things. And you've heard me say this before. Tony Robbins talks about, listen, during a winter, you can either freeze to death or you can ski and snowboard, because the biggest transfer of wealth happens during recessions, depressions, and during wars if we do the right things. And I'm going to give you 3 proven strategies to thrive and win through these challenging times. The commercial real estate. Couple more, we're going to get to the three strategies. Commercial real estate is taking a tank for several reasons. One, people are working from home. There's all these office buildings. There was one in San Francisco. Get this. There was $300 million. This building was $300 million. It is now selling for 80% off, which is for only $60 million. Not to mention the biggest banking lending drop in history. And this was in March, the biggest bank lending drop in history. And that was in March 2023. It's down $104 billion. So banks are not lending money like they used to. And if they can, the interest rates, or if they do, the interest rates are going higher and higher. So I had a friend of mine post this morning. He said, I'm looking at homes in Florida on an island, and it was $2.9 million in 2022. Now they're asking $2.1 million, and they would probably take $1.9 million. So basically, every month, this home is dropping in value at about $83,000. So if he waits another year and the house doesn't sell, he probably can get it, which was once listed back a year ago for $2.9 million, for somewhere around $1.25 million. So they're declining. Now, with that said, okay, does any of that surprise you? Any of that surprise you? Okay, not me. Okay, we're hearing about it every single day. Now, here's the good news. We're going to talk about how to thrive and win through these times. Peter Drucker. How many of you have ever heard of Peter Drucker? He was one of the founders of management, one of the greatest thinkers on management and productivity and performance. And if you Google him, you can see a lot about him. I know that Rick Warren, who wrote The Purpose-Driven Life, talked about that was one of his mentors, Peter Drucker. And there's 3 quotes that I pulled today that apply to all of us going through uncertain times. The first one, the best way to predict your future is to create it. The best way to predict your future is to create it. The second one, these are some of my favorites. Let me know which one is your favorite. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. The degree of my achievement in life is 100% dependent on the quality of my choices. The degree of my achievement in life is 100% dependent on the quality of my choices. So if we're looking at our goals in the future and where we are today, in the middle is the process. And the quality of results is determined by the quality of decisions that we make on a daily basis. Our fortune and success lies in our daily repeating choices, our habits, our rituals, our choices. And then last but not least, the definition of achievement is doing the right things consistently over a period of time. Let me repeat that again. The definition of achievement is doing the right things consistently over a period of time. But the challenge with this is that so many people, they start to focus on the results. They do the right activities for a period of time. They focus on the results. They get discouraged. They switch it up, go, that must not be working. And it's not that it's not working. It's we hadn't given it time to work. We have to make the right choices, but then we have to stick through the process and continue to do those right activities over a period of time. Now, sometimes we aren't doing the right things. Okay, that's why having the right people in our life, the mentors, the guides, the people that have been where we want to go, that's why that's so important, because eventually we have to evaluate, hey, listen, if my future is hidden in my daily repeating patterns and I'm not having the success, I always feel like I'm stuck, it has to be me. I've got to evaluate if I want to get something different, I have to do something different. But sometimes we can't even see what that is because we're so in the mix of our daily routines and our daily habits. So let's talk about number one. And let me know if you have some type of aha moment as I go through these different things. And by the way, excuse me one second. How do you like my Streamyard mug? You like that? And and the last live that I did, just so you know, what allows me to actually do this broadcast on 8 different platforms. You can go to the link, the last link that for some reason there was a technical glitch. It was not working. But if you go to StreamYard.com/DK, you can get a free subscription to StreamYard, which is this. It's almost like having your own TV studio because I can pop up banners. How cool are the banners? You can change the branding. You see my branding on the screen right now. You can put up people's comments, for example. Like we've got, Gene. Hello again, Darren Kidd. Thanks for the book. You're very welcome. Here's Howard talking about travel is one of the industries that's going to be hit, which you are correct, Howard, with that. But if you want to get a free trial of StreamYard and you want to get wrong one. Hold on. Let me find it. Here it is. Okay. And you want to get a $10 credit, go ahead and go to that link to do that. Now, back to the 3 strategies. Number 1, network and collaborate. Collaboration is the new currency. This is where we have to have not a lack mentality, but an abundance mentality. When you start to collaborate and network and you're intentional about those things, it's pretty amazing what can happen. And here's some ideas. Like, for example, maybe it's you going live like I am right on StreamYard, and they have everything set up for you, and you can click and you can interview different people in your profession. And they can even share the interview on their platform while you're on StreamYard. So what does that do? Well, what it does, it now attaches both of you to your audiences. So now you're tapping into OPA, other people's audiences. And when you attach with their audience, you're gaining new followers. You're expanding your network. Attention is the new currency. You're getting more eyeballs and attention on you and your brand. So when network and collaborate, do you have a list of people that you want to be intentional about building relationships with, asking yourself, not, hey, what can I get from this person, but asking yourself, how can I add value to these people? Because when you add value to other people, they automatically want to add value back to you. But for me, when I believe in something, how many of you are like me? If I don't believe in it, I'm not talking about it. If I don't believe in it, I'm not promoting it. I don't care if you offered me $1 billion if it goes against my integrity, if it's something I don't believe in, if I don't believe in the person or the company delivering the services, I will never promote it. If I do believe in it, I will tell the world about you. I will tell the world about your product or service because I love helping people. And I know you do too. So who can you intentionally network with, build relationships with, add value to them? Who can you connect them to? And when you start doing these things at first, yeah, you're having to be intentional, but eventually it just becomes a part of your personality. As soon as you meet someone, you're automatically like me. As soon as I meet someone and believe in what you do, I'm automatically thinking about who would be a great connection that I could introduce you to. And you're only one connection away. We've talked about this multiple times recently. One connection away, one new door that opens to a whole new world, one idea, one aha moment. And when you start to network and collaborate, not only do all those things happen, but you become who you intentionally associate with, network with, collaborate with. When you start swimming in bigger ponds, bigger lakes, bigger circles, you start to think bigger. And then you start to feel your identity, your invisible lid in your own head starts to raise that waterline, and you start to feel worthy. And we get what we feel like we deserve. So when you're networking with intentionality, you're collaborating, you're adding value, you're building relationships, Then what happens? Your whole network starts to expand. And as you increase your network, you increase your net worth. So that's number one. That's the number one key. Number two, and by the way, number three is the most important. Number two, being intentional. Intentionality, being intentional, it matters in a huge way. You don't accidentally get to the top of a mountain. You don't accidentally get in shape. You don't accidentally build a big business. You have to be intentional. Intentional with your networking and collaborating. Intentional with your goals. Like right now, if we put a camera on your calendar, show me your calendar, I will show you your future. Are you being intentional about setting your goals? Are you being intentional about time management? For example, if you have a goal to make $100,000 a year, being intentional about the time that you spend, where you spend it. Are you spending it on busy stuff, or are you spending it on stuff that is a key performance indicator, a leading indicator, not a lagging indicator? What do I mean? So maybe you're in sales. Are you prospecting? Are you reaching out? Are you following up? Are you doing things on social media to attract people to you by building your brand? Or are you spending your time getting caught in the scroll hole of social media, getting caught in conversations that have no value whatsoever? The more success you have, the more you will realize it's not about what you say yes to. When you're setting your goals and you know where you're going, it allows you and helps you make better decisions. And it's about what you say no to. Let me give you one example. You want to make $100,000 a year, that's $50 an hour. $1 million is $500 an hour. $2 million is $1,000 an hour. It's not what you're making now. It's what you're going to make. It's that goal. If you're going to make $500 an hour and you want to make, or $1 million a year, do you realize that when you break that down, let me share with you how that relates to your minutes in your day. If people say I don't have time, no, they need to change that. That's not my priority. We all have the same time. How did the billionaire that mentored me have 40 companies in 60 countries, but yet still broke world records in the fitness space, pay for 1,000 kids a year to go to college, all these other things? We all have the same 24 hours. No time is an excuse. And if you're going to go out and live to your full potential, you can make excuses, or you can live toward your full potential, but you can't do both. You can't have success and make excuses. But $500 an hour is $8 a minute. So when someone goes, can I just get 20 minutes of your time? I had someone do that to me just not too long ago, right? And I go, please let me know what you want to talk about. It would have been a waste of my time and their time, because 20 minutes at $8 an hour is $167 that you lost. Wasting 20 minutes in the scroll hole of social media, having a conversation where maybe somebody's gossiping or talking about negative stuff that takes you off track, not to mention how long it takes you to get back on track once you get off track. And this goes to, if you have a company with employees, these are important things that you want to be able to train your employees, your agents on, because lost time. Okay. If you want to make $2 million a year, you lost $333 for 20 minutes. And by the way, if you're in any type of business that allows you to leverage your time and efforts, there's no way to even put a dollar amount on your time, because in that time, you could have brought in the next top producer, your next top leader in the entire company, and you missed it because we were doing things that were not high payoff activities. They weren't the 20%, the Pareto principle, the HPA, the 20% that delivers the 80%. Are you intentional about your priorities? I'm sorry, about your associations. Your associations. Do you have a list of not just what do you need to know, but who do you need to know? Who do you need to spend more time around? Who do you need to listen to more? Very intentional about all priorities in your life. Are you doing this with every area of your life? Are you just focused on making money, but not taking care of your health? If you could have $1 million today, but you know you're going to have a deadly disease tomorrow and you're only going to have a few months to live, but you could have $10 million today, what would you want? Heck no, keep your money. Just let me keep my health. So money's not everything. Are you prioritizing your relationships? So many times we're focused on what's coming in the future. We forget to be grateful and have gratitude for what we have today. We're focused on what we want more than what we already have. And let me tell you, Mother's Day was yesterday. My mom was not here, not on earth, right? It was the second Mother's Day without her. And I'm like, man, so many times we're so focused on all these other things, we just forget to be grateful in the moment. So having gratitude, prioritizing your health, your family, your relationships, moments throughout your day, your money, all of these things. And then your business. I would rather you respect me and achieve your goals and dreams than like me and be broke. And let me tell you, if you think that what has gotten you to where you are right now is going to get you to the next level, you're mistaken. If you think your company, even though you've had success in the past, is going to keep crushing it, look at all the things that all of a sudden overnight, the entire industry changed. The profession changed overnight. So that's why number 3 I'm getting ready to share with you is the most important, because the same version of you that got you to where you are is not the same version that's going to get you to the next level. If your company is not innovating and thinking outside the box, look at Netflix and Blockbuster, right? Who had the last laugh? When Netflix went in and offered to sell to Blockbuster for only $50 million, and they literally laughed them out the door. But then later on, here's Blockbuster $1 billion in debt when they bankrupted, and Netflix dominates. They got the last laugh. So again, it's thinking differently. It's acting differently. And it's constantly growing, having a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. All right, let me know in the comments real quick before we give you the most important one, right? Let me know if you're getting value so far. All right, and let's keep going. Last but not least. And at the end, I'm going to offer something to you. For some of you, it may be, what you're looking for. Some of you, it may not be for you, but that's okay. Number 3, and I want you to stay with me throughout this whole piece. This is the most important one. Work on you. I've built businesses for the last 30 plus years. I was there when we had the .com bubble bust. I was there with 2008. I was there 9/11. There during COVID. And I learned this early on. I wasn't prepared the first time. That I don't get paid what I want. I get paid what I am. And I get paid based on the value that I bring to the marketplace. And right now, if your company, like my daughter-in-law's company not too long ago, went from 150, 170 employees down to 30, and she was one that was fortunate enough to keep her job, I was at the mercy of a company when that happened back many, many years ago. And I made that decision. I will never allow that to happen again, because we can't complain about what we tolerate and what we put up with. So when I go, I am going to work on me so hard that any company in the world would pay anything to want to work with me, because I add so much value. And so it's about cultivating not only a positive mindset, but having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, in investing at least 10% of what you make back into you. Okay, you got to work on you. You don't know what opportunities are going to come your way. You don't know what it's going to take to go to that next level with all the layoffs, with prices increasing, with all those industries that we're talking about that are being hit, with banks collapsing, the car bubble bursting, the inflation, all of this stuff going on, that it's going to be more competitive than ever before for you to make sure that you're working on you. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. If you want to attract great leaders into your life, great opportunities into your life, we're a magnet. We're going to attract what we want, and we're going to repel what we're not. We're going to attract what we want. We're going to compel what we're not. So it's time that we work on us, because what it does, it helps you manage stress. It helps you be more productive. It helps you reframe challenges and focus on the solutions, not the problems. Then when you're working on you, you start to look at obstacles as the blessing, challenges as the blessing. When you look back and go, hey, you know what? That thing that I thought was the worst thing that ever happened to me ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me, but it only happened because I was prepared. I had been working on me. I prepared for that moment. You get recognized in the light for what you do in the dark. In the dark is where every morning, I'm up before the sun and I'm doing my purpose development. I'm doing my personal development. I'm investing in courses. I'm in masterminds. Like I'm traveling all over to events all over the world. And what that's done for me, okay, I've done over 30 virtual events for companies, organizations around the world in the last 90 days. My speaking career is blowing up, which is very exciting for me because I want to impact people all over the world. And to do that, I need to be in front of people's audiences. I've booked several conventions and physical events like seminars and things like that over the next several months. My calendar is booking up extremely fast thanks to a lot of you. So by the way, if you go to iwilluntil.com/speaking, okay, maybe if one of you can put it in the comments and I'll put your comment up. iwilluntil.com/speaking. And what that'll do is it'll show you my speaking reel. So if your company is looking for a speaker for their convention, looking to train their employees to help them increase their performance, their productivity, their profits, when I go in, I don't want to just motivate and inspire. I want to educate, train, and teach them how to do more, have more, be more, increase the 3 Ps, performance, productivity, and profits. But what's happening, me working on me so hard, is now attracting a whole different circle of people into my life that is opening up doors that I never in a million years ago, thought that would open. And guess what? When I'm in the room now with those people, I feel like I deserve it because I do deserve it. Because I've been through it. 3 decades of building businesses, overcoming crazy challenges, investing multiple 6 figures in me. I know. And that's the kind of confidence you're going to have as you continue to invest in you, becoming the next better version. And I love that. How many of you get excited going, you know what? Okay. You know what? I am excited just to see how I can break through to that next level. How many different versions are there available of Darren Kidd, of Gene Hodges, of all of you, Mary, right? Who else we got on here? Michelle, all of you. So the mindset, you invest in personal and professional development. Nowadays, it's not the college degree. It's not the college degree that gets you to where you want to be. Jim Rohn, the late, great Jim Rohn, said formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Where I am, college, they just had graduation. And I'm talking to all these college students. I'm seeing them in the coffee shop. I'm seeing them as we're walking our dogs. And guess what? They're like, yeah, I have a degree here, but I'm working at a coffee shop. The one today had this crazy advanced degree. He's working in a coffee shop for not much more than minimum wage. So self-education will make you a fortune. Formal education will make you a living. And just because someone didn't have a college education does not mean they're not educated. Now is the time to invest in you like never before. So with that said, let me know what was your biggest aha moment throughout this whole training. And I want to give you an opportunity. Now let me tell you who this is for before you book a call with me. I have an interactive coaching program that is a 6-month program. I've got consulting days that I do with companies. They fly me in. I work with them and their staff, help them, with business growth. I have VIP days with individual clients. I've got a 6-month group coaching program, interactive coaching program. If you're making $200,000 plus a year, this is probably for you because this is not cheap, right? If I'm spending multiple 6 figures in my education and 30 years, 3 decades of experience, it's not going to be cheap. And you don't want it to be cheap. It's going to be an investment. So that is an investment. But if you're looking to invest in you to take your business to the next level and not play, now is the time. I work with top leaders in many different companies. And let me give you a warning. This may be something that one of you on here needed to hear that's going to save your entire business. When we start going through challenging times like we're going through right now, and people start seeing a decrease in their income, they go into protect mode. They go into, let me protect my business as much as I possibly can. That is the worst possible thing you can possibly do. You're either growing or declining. Maintaining is a myth. Now is the time you go into hyper growth mode. You go into, I'm going to be aggressive with the time that I have to build my business. I'm going to make every single minute count. I'm going to hone in and improve my skills and my mindset like never before. It's separation season. Everyone else, they're not willing to do all these things, but I'm not everyone else. So now is the time to go for it, because this is when you gain market share. Storms don't come to stay in our life. They come to pass. This time, this too shall pass. All the crazy times that we're going through. And when we start coming out of that and we start heading back up, that's when 1 hour that you put in during the challenging times where you weren't getting the results that you wanted to, but all of a sudden that 1 hour you invested is going to pay you $500 or $1,000 for every hour that you put in during the challenging times. All the money that you invested into yourself. And by the way, I don't care if you're working with me or anyone else. When I invest, why would I invest? Why would I go want to learn whatever it is? YouTube, like the YouTuber I've hired multiple times, one of the best in the world, one of the top in Forbes. You go, why would you pay that kind of money? 2 ways for me to have videos viewed all over the world. I can go out and spend the next 10, 15 years plus trying to learn it myself, or I can pay and I can lose thousands of dollars, tons of time, or I can pay for his experiences and shorten my learning curve and compress timeframes. So when I'm investing, whether it's real estate, wanting to learn from a real estate mentor, whether it's a YouTube mentor, a social media mentor, first of all, I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay the money to the government if I don't go spend it. So if I spend it, it's a tax savings. So you can take off pretty much, I'm not a CPA. You check with yours. Don't go on what I tell you. Pretty much a third. So if I invested that type of money, it really cost me about 2/3 of that. Can I learn one thing from that person in the next 6, 12 months, the mastermind, whatever that could give me a 5, 10x on my return? When I was doing my YouTube channel several years ago in a different profession, and I did that, I made off of I don't even remember what I spent, 20, 30,000 or more on YouTube, but yet I made multiple 6 figures, if not over $1 million from that investment because of what it taught me how to use video. And by the way, I'm still getting paid because people still reach out for me all over the world that see my brand, see my YouTube videos, see my social media and go, hey, I like you. I just got another speaking engagement training for a company last week. They're like, I watched your videos. I like your passion, your energy, your dad jokes. I'm not for everybody, but that's the way that they find out if your vibe is they like your vibe and your training style and your passion, your product, your service. And so when you're looking to invest in you, tax savings, check with your CPA. It's an investment. It's not a cost. Like people that never reach their full potential, they look at things like that as, oh, what is it going to cost me? No, the cost of not doing it is a lot more than doing it. What would it cost you to lose a leader, a top employee? As I'm working with companies now, there's a lot of them, man, they're not, some of them are being very intentional because your culture tracks what it is and it repels what it's not. So they're being very intentional about doing the right things to attract quality employees. They're doing the right thing to retain those employees and help them increase performance, productivity, and profits. So I just get excited and I nerd out, believe it or not. I dropped out of college. I used to hate being in college, being in class. I was so bored. My wife was laughing the other day because we met in high school. And she's like, my daughter said she fell asleep in class. And I'm like, girl, you're not supposed to fall asleep in class. And my wife's like, you fell asleep every single day, right? So for me to get to my office every single day, and I've already been through an hour and a half of purpose development, and then to do personal development and be excited about it, and she has to cut me off from spending more and more money because I love growing and learning and expanding. I'm excited about that. All right, so let's see. Well, listen, everybody, make sure to smash the like button if you got value. Make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube, connect if we're on LinkedIn, whatever platform you're on, let's connect. And then, by the way, one more thing I will give you as a bonus for everybody that hung on to the very end. If you have not had a chance to do this yet, I have a free planner that you can download. And not only that, it's a why worksheet where we talked about being intentional. You can start setting your goals and putting your dreams and all the things down on that. It's a completely free planner. And you can start being intentional about planning every single day. I've got things on there where you can track your water. You can track your movement, having movement breaks and water breaks throughout the day. But make sure to take advantage of that before you just want to make sure I've reminded you of that and give that to you as a little bonus. Well, listen, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have an amazing week. Just want to give you a little bit of Monday motivation. I appreciate each and every one of you. And once again, if you know of any company, organization that's looking for the next trainer, speaker, you can have me at your event if you like my style. Or if you refer me to a company that's not your company, then what I'm happy to do is send you a referral commission. So that way it's a win-win for both of us. All right, have an amazing day. We'll see you on the next training. Take care.